Blessings and peace to you. This is SB Favor Thinking Podcast, and my name is SB Favor. How are you doing today? It is Tuesday, January 30th, 2024. Another wonderful day and another day to be thankful. And as I always say, if you focus on what is good, then you can project something good to happen. When you focus on what is good. If you are out there traveling about today, make sure you are focused and make sure you say a prayer. Make sure you are not on your phone too much in the public, because when you are on your phone, it becomes a distraction when you are in the public. So keep yourself safe and keep your family members safe. Use that hand sanitizer. Wash your hands. Yes. Wash your hands. I always remind you of these things because I care. So do your part to keep yourself safe and keep your family members safe. Please. If you would like to give to the podcast, you can give at Cash App, $ SB Favor, or you can give at Venmo at SB Favor. Once again, if you would like to give to the podcast, you can give at Cash App, $ SB Favor, or you can give at Venmo at SB Favor. Thank you so much for your support and your donations. Well, I do have an inspirational quote for you today. And my inspirational quote is, be the person in the room that does not conform to lower standards to be accepted. Rejection is just a detour to be where you are supposed to be. I am going to read that inspirational quote again. Be the person in the room that does not conform to lower standards to be accepted. Rejection is just a detour to be where you are supposed to be. Now, I know somebody is probably thinking, what is she talking about? Well, a lot of times when we are in a company of others and there's a lot being said and there's a lot going on, we have an opportunity to be an example for the next person by what we say, by how we react, respond, and just by our actions. And a lot of times, if something is happening in the moment among friends, among family members, and if it's something of a lower standard, something you know is wrong, if someone is having a conversation about something you know you are not supposed to participate in, if someone is talking about something you know is off limits, why are you conforming? You don't have to conform. So what I'm saying is this. Sometimes people choose lower standards because they fear being rejected. And you don't have to fear being rejected, because when you become the standard, others will follow. But a lot of times, some people in some situations, they accept the lower standard. Like I said, participating in a conversation you know you are not supposed to be in. You're having a conversation with one of your friends. It could be 4 or 5 people, and one person or 2 people out of the group, they start to discuss someone that is not present. They're gossiping. They are throwing someone under the bus. And what does that mean? They are destroying someone's character. And in that moment, when you hear someone destroying someone else's character, you, in that moment, have an opportunity to walk away or to say something. But a lot of times, instead of a person saying something with boldness and confidence, they become fearful because they don't want to be rejected. In this scenario that I'm painting, I know sometimes this happens more among younger people, sometimes more often among teenagers. But this can also happen among any age group of people. It might not be a conversation. It could be someone just influencing you to do something that you shouldn't do. So the question you should ask yourself is, why am I conforming to a lower standard? Why am I not standing on the standard or the principle or value that I know is better? Why? Ask yourself that question. If you are in the company of someone that is not influencing you to be a better person, ask yourself the question, why are you in the company of that person? Why are you friends with that person? Why are you around that family member? Just because a person is a family member doesn't mean that person should be a person of influence. That's right, I said it. Just because that person is a family member, that person should not be a person of influence if they are not influencing you to do the right thing. Just because you have the label of a family member in my life does not mean you get to influence me to do something negative, okay? So, what I am saying is this. A lot of times people choose the wrong standards, the wrong values. They choose to respond to something that will influence them the wrong way instead of the right way. So they conform. And you don't have to. Because they fear they will be rejected. And like I said, rejection is just a detour to be where you are supposed to be. So you don't have to fear being rejected. You don't have to fear that. I can honestly say I have been in the company of other women, and yes, I have witnessed people at different times in my life having conversations or doing things they are not supposed to do, or doing things they knew was wrong. They knew it was wrong. And at different times when I witnessed and heard these things, there were times I didn't say anything. So there were times I just separated myself from these individuals. But the point of what I'm saying is, don't conform to something. Don't conform to something. Don't conform to something that is not good. You don't have to do that. Sadly, sometimes the younger generation, when they don't understand the power of influence and how it can affect their lives, they follow the wrong influences. We have social media, and on social media, there are different types of people that say different things on different levels pertaining to what to do, what not to do, how to think. And sadly, a lot of it can be very negative. I see a lot of quotes and people talking about how to function in a relationship and what to do when a man cheats, or what to do when a woman cheats, and how to handle certain types of situations. If it's not something positive, if it's not something good, ask yourself the question, why should you be influenced by something that is not good? Why should you conform to it? Why? We should always ask ourselves these questions. Even if you are having a negative thought, ask yourself the question, why am I sitting here thinking negative about this person? Or why am I thinking negative about this situation? It's not going to make a situation better. We all should be influenced by something good every day. And we should never conform to accept a lower standard. And I know we all have different standards based upon how we were raised and the background we come from. But every single day we should be reaching for a higher standard of how we think, a better standard of how we live, how we function in our relationships, our parenting styles, how we speak to one another, our relationships overall. We should constantly seek better ways to become better. Yes. So when we conform to lower standards, there's nothing beneficial in that. And like I said, sometimes people fear being rejected, so they accept lower standards because they don't want to be rejected. Some people go along with the crowd because they don't want to be rejected. But rejection is something powerful if you understand the purpose of it. Because rejection is just a detour so that you can know where you are supposed to be. If you are somewhere and you know for a fact you are not supposed to be there, you have been rejected from being there, it simply means you are not supposed to be there. That's right. It means you are not supposed to be where you are. So accept it in that moment and do something different. And take the detour to be where you are supposed to be versus where you are not supposed to be. Because when you force something to happen, or if you force yourself to be where you are not supposed to be, it just simply means it's going to get worse. So, do not conform to lower standards to be accepted. Sometimes, unfortunately, people get into relationships they are not supposed to be in. Sometimes people marry people they are not supposed to marry. If you are with someone and you have certain types of standards for your life, and now you're with this person, you are married to this person, or you are in a relationship with this person, now you find yourself lowering your standards just to be in this relationship. What does that say about you? If the person you are in a relationship with, romantic relationship with, if that person is not helping you to reach higher standards, to be more excellent, to be more disciplined, just to be better, ask yourself the question, why are you there? And if you are married to someone, because marriage is a different level of commitment, of course, and if you are married to someone and you are constantly lowering your standards, you are constantly going from excellent to being with no discipline. No discipline. You went from being excellent, now you have no discipline. What does that say? What does that say? Now, I can't answer that question for you. I want you to answer that question for yourself. Because when we are connected to anyone, we should always be in the position to make ourselves better, or we should be influenced to be better by that person. So, I thank you so much for taking the time out to listen to SB Favorite Thinking Podcast. If you need to reach me, you can reach me at sbfavorite@yahoo.com via email, or you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram, or YouTube